Rested and ready. Whoa. Oh, let's go. I don't have wins to be excited about. I'm excited about being a Raider fan. That's all it takes. It may be different for others, but not me. Woo! Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair, that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! What? Woo! I didn't get off a good one that first one. The Raider Bear! Raiders! Intermission. Kidding. Alexa, hush! What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. It's your boy, your host, Raider Bear, welcoming all of you to the show tonight. Appreciate you. And as always, Tradish! Raider Bear Live! First comment. MVP tonight goes to John the Lion! Leon! Always catching L's, but never taking losses. John the Lion Leon. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear, our gold medalist tonight. Second place, my silver medal goes to... I'm going to upset my dogs in there. S.A. Big Dog! What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for a Raider Bear. Appreciate you checking in. The faithful. Ahem. Third place, bronze medal. DPC. I put my Wolverine claws away. David Pelkaliver. Mount Rushmore in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Everyone, take a quick bow. Mount Rushmore in the house. Oh, he's famous and like that. You know what I mean? And honorable mention go to Shane Street. That's my guy right there. Shane, I know I say that a lot, but I did kind of originate that with you because you were my guy right there. And Big Chief. What's up, Big Chief? Welcome to the show. No honorable mention to the heavyweight champion of the world who made about every excuse he could think of for why John beat him. First, it was because I changed my time. Then it was because he didn't get an alert from Facebook. Then it was because someone tied his shoelaces and another person burned his homework before school. What's up, Jim? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. Jim, you never have to make excuses, brother. You're always the champ with the Raider Bear. Welcome to the show. Honorable mention one more time, Jim Vanderland. Now, Facebook. First place, my gold medalist, El Jefe, numero uno. Mike! What are you doing up here? Henderson! What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Always there for a Raider Bear. What's up, Mike? Look at you gold medaling tonight. Second place, silver medal, that sexy silver-tongued son of a gun, Lucky! Really just lucky. Pace! Wrong! It's nothing like when I write an opinion about something, and I feel good about it. Yeah, I feel strongly. What I just said, accurate. Here comes Lucky Pace. First word, all capitals, wrong. Hey, he got love for a bear, though. He can do that. He gets away with that with me because he knows I know he don't mean no harm. He a good dude. All right, so what's up, everybody? I spilled a little bit right here. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I appreciate you all tuning in. Now, as far as the call against the Chiefs, let's just get it out of the way right now, okay? Because it's Monday. Everyone's pissed off about it, yada, yada, yada. From what I understand, the play did look fishy. It did look like the play was being called one way as a false start and then another way as an illegal motion. Now, I don't know how a play can be illegal motion before the ball is snapped. I mean, excuse me. I mean, obviously you can motion illegally before the ball is snapped. I'm sorry, I said that poorly. Let me rephrase that. I don't understand why they wouldn't call that prior to the snap as opposed to after the snap. While when the ball was snapped, the first referee and camera shot was saying false start. Then they get together, they talk, and it's suddenly illegal motion. Because, see, the difference is illegal motion still awards the ball as a fumble to the other team. Whereas if it's a false start, that means it was not a play. So it would have been the Raiders' ball, and we wouldn't have even had to run another play. We could have just lined up the special teams and kicked the ball right there. It would have been a 37, 40-yard field goal at that point. And I know our field goal kicker was struggling, but does anyone really think he was going to miss that one? Because I don't. I mean, I know a lot of teams have good field goal kickers that go into slumps. Okay, but every once in a while you have a field goal kicker that he may go into a little bit of a slump, he may miss a few, but then a clutch kick comes. And then you feel differently still about that same kicker. When you can do that, it means that kicker in the past has won your confidence or earned your respect or maybe a combination of both. But with me, it was that. He kind of earned my respect because I know he's not Mr. Hit every single kick. You know what I mean? He's missed a couple. You know, there's been a miss here and there for him throughout the years. But I still would have been cool with him. Just run the play, kick the ball. We would have been good. Mike Hendu, Henderson, Luckeye Pace. I forgot one. My bad. Bonds Metal. Big Chief! No, it's not Big Chief. You're on, you know what? You're on YouTube. I have completely flubbled this. Flubbled is a word. Look it up. No, don't ask me how to spell it. Third place, Facebook, Tony Carpenter Evans! Tony, how did I botch your bronze that much? I don't. You know I love it when a Raiderette slides into my slots. You know, blah, 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 blah. Welcome to the show, girl. Honorable mention to Carlos Maigana. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Oh, look, Lucky Pace on both. It's on Facebook and YouTube. Herman Gonzalez. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. A Marcus Atchison sighting. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. It has been a while. And I got Tony Carpenter Evans' dog. I don't know what you're talking about, Tony. Raiders! Hoof! 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 Now I got everybody's dog going. Cameron Brackett, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Corinna Trujillo, always there for a Raider Bear. And remember, stars given to the show go directly to charities like the Kind Fund, Kids in Need of Desks. We also work with Punks for Autism, which we're really excited about. We've been working with St. Jude's and early onset cancer for kids for quite a while now. And we make donations to all three of them periodically, month to month. And by the time we get to the end of the year, we've made a nice significant donation year by year. And they've begun to actually start to send us little letters and let us know what kind of numbers we're doing with them and showing us that they appreciate it. And it's pretty cool because I didn't know they did that. You know, I just assumed that they would just take the donations and just be like, thanks. But if it's a repeated giver, so to speak, a repeated donator, they log that, and then after a certain amount, they reach out to you and go, "Hey, we appreciate it." Rage and Raider Rhino in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Tony, make a dip. Always there for Raider Bear. Rhino, how's that pretty girl of yours? Man, she's beautiful. Jason Polk, I wouldn't go as far as to say it was script. This is not, Tyson versus Paul. I don't know why everybody's so mad about that. I mean, think about what all of us were saying before the Tyson-Paul fight. We were all saying we were only going to hate Paul more if he somehow won, or God forbid, knocked Mike out. And no one was going to care if Mike knocked out Paul, because everyone knows that Paul is a phony. He's only really fought one actual fighter. It was some guy named Mike Fury or Tony Fury or, I don't know, Desert Fury, or I don't know what the guy's name is. I just know his last name's Fury. And he's a bum. He's not even a legitimate, tough guy, ranked, fighter. And if he is, it's probably like 15th or 27th. But he beat Paul, so. Troy Gill, no, we didn't get robbed. And yes, we would have won the game. But the NFL doesn't want that stain on the Chiefs' run for 3 in a row. And the Raiders don't want to stain their chances of getting a solid number one quarterback. So the fix was in, but on both sides. I don't think this was scripted. I just feel like the Raiders, I wouldn't be surprised if they fumbled that ball intentionally. And then more importantly, everyone is saying really quietly, you've got people saying, leave AP alone. He's doing the best he can with what he can. You have those Raider fans that are saying, get him out of here, fire him. We gave him a chance. It's not working. He doesn't make adjustments, yada, yada, yada. And then you have a few that are bringing up what I'm bringing up right now, and that's just that. And if you guys have any questions, just hit me up, and I'll answer them. I'm just kind of giving you my own input here for a second. But I think that AP looks the way he does because he's been emotionally affected by this season. I don't think he looks like the same coach, the same energy, that it's gone. The shouting, chest-pounding Raider coach that we had before is not there. Now, losses can do that to a guy, but at the same time, I was noticing it before the losses were piling up. Raider Goon, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. If you guys ever get a chance to meet Raider Goon, just know, class, great guy, funny, beautiful wife, family man. I respect the hell out of Raider Goon. And I don't say that about every Raider superfan. It's not because they're not all great. I just don't know a lot of them personally. I had a chance to interview Raider Goon, and his wife was willing to come on my show, which was an absolute mistake. Because I was giving her the business. In a good way. She was really cool. She's a really nice lady. Great couple. Tony, make a dip. Bring back Gemma. I saw like I'm mixing. Gemmakowski. We know what you meant. I just wanted to say it wrong because you spelled it wrong, but it's actually pretty close. You ebonicsed it. What's up, Bob Stairs? My brother right there. Mark Vargas. Bear! And all the emojis I love. All 5. That's my guy. Don't ever shortchange me on the emojis, bro. Don't do that. I'll call you out. I saw the replay, no false start. Receivers were still moving, and they didn't get set. The center just snapped the ball prematurely. Lucky, once again, I'm going to agree with you. I hate to be the lack of drama, but I agree. That's about as simplified a way as you could say it. Breaking it down for someone short and sweet. That's the best way you could say it, because there was a receiver moving. But, see, the thing I think that hardcore football people were upset about, Lucky, was that play could have gone either way. In other words, the old saying, you could call holding on every play. They could have called holding too. You know what I mean? On either a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman. Or a defensive back. You know what I mean? There's someone doing that on every play. It's up to the referees, if we all want to be honest for a second. Because we're always saying, oh, the refs are in their pockets, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it does look like it. But in this instance, the way Lucky puts it is appropriate. Let me read this one more time. Seeing the replay, no false start. The receivers were still moving and didn't get set. The center just snapped the ball prematurely. Now, prematurely, yes, and we do have a quote from Aiden O'Connell confirming what you said. So that's not speculation. That's not guessing on Lucky's part. AOC did say in the interview that he started clapping his hands. And when there's a lot of noise and you can't really hear the cadence, that's a way of saying to the center, snap the ball. And he was doing it as a part of the count, going blue 30 play, like that. And he just prematurely started clapping. And so he's saying it's his fault. Now, Lucky, I'm not saying that you're wrong. Everything you're saying makes sense. You see, I just reinforced your argument. But it also looks like maybe come on. All those things happened on the same play of a Raider team that's been disciplined, not just last year, with AP, but this year, pretty disciplined with him. We're driving against the Chiefs. Everything's on the line, and we make 2 mistakes on the same play. The refs could have seen that either way as one thing or the other. They could have called false start because it was close. It wasn't like the Raiders receivers were still moving and didn't set, and it was like, it was pretty close. You know what I mean? To when they snapped the ball to where they didn't get a chance to actually stop. So, I just think that the call could have went either way, and the refs just got together and realized if we say this, it's their ball, game's over. So let's get out of here. You know what I mean? That's how it felt. It just felt like you're giving it to the Chiefs. Let's just get out of here. Tommy, I love your comments. Never stop commenting, Tommy. Hi, Mr. Raider Bear. The dirty refs gave the game to the dirty Chiefs. Even Mommy thought so, and then Grampy, too. That's right. That's because they know. They know what they saw. We have 2B going for picks, Jason Polk. Okay. Raging Raider Rhino, that's your fault that she's bad. Stop giving her everything she wants. Bear, let's see. Bear, Jaden Daniels is 6'4", 210 pounds. And when you compare shoulder, Sanders 6'2", 216. And Cam Ward is 6'2", 223. Which one would you prefer in the draft? All right, well, I was going to go into some quarterback stuff. Let me make sure I don't have any big questions from anyone else, because I'm absolutely, Dustin King, going to go into the quarterback stuff in just a second. I'm at the point where I'm not totally in on AP anymore. The only way we would want him back next season is if he brings in a legit offensive coordinator. Otherwise, we need to try to hire Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel. Okay, Marcus, I would say to you honestly, I don't think AP is long for the team, but I don't think it has anything to do with whether he can coach. And I don't think it's because he's black, because they could end up hiring a black coach. But my point is that I don't think AP is ready. Now, when people say, oh, you haven't given him a chance, well, actually, yes, we did. We're giving him a chance. We gave him second half of last season and the first half of this season thus far. He has not been fired. I don't think he's going to be fired mid-season or anything like that. Unless it was just something he did that was just absolutely egregiously terrible. And it would have to be beyond like losing all the rest of the games. There are those that think we are going to do that, tanking for the pick to guarantee the pick. But I think there's too much change coming. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of change coming. You got to understand, guys. You have a new coach, but he's kind of a new coach, interim coach. You know what I mean? And the only way AP was going to be able to stay is if he was great, and he wasn't. Now, was he not great because the order was in to tank? I think looking back, knowing that the season, people predicting our season and how we were going to do online, a lot of people were saying 3 wins. 2-3 wins. And we were all offended, including me. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is a better roster than that. But maybe they saw but couldn't say. Maybe they heard but couldn't say that the Raiders were in a position where they felt like they were going to tank. And because I think now we are in full tank, I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think that at the next game or two, you have to give Max a couple games off, maybe at least one or two. Just don't get him hurt. You don't want to have a game in 2 more weekends, and there's still games to go on the season of a wasted season that you're tanking to get better, and now you get him hurt. You know what I mean? In some pointless game against the Jaguars or something stupid like that. I just, especially if it's games like the Jaguars that we probably could win without him. Or at least be competitive in, because obviously we don't really want to win if we're tanking. And I just believe we are. Jason Polk, I think that answered that question for you. You said, what do I think on a deeper level? On a deeper level, I think AP is going to lose his job. I don't think it has anything to do with how he's done thus far. I don't even think it's fair to analyze what he's done from what he's been given thus far. He had to deal with Josh McDaniels' mess in a half season, showed promise, and now has started a season that looks like they never intended to try to win. How does Aiden O'Connell not become the starter from the previous season when he was the starter the previous season and did nothing to lose the job other than get into a supposed quarterback competition with Gardner Minshew, which turned out to be, eyes closed, throw a dart, it landed on Minshew. Okay, Minshew, you get the job. I mean, I know a lot of you watch my show. I'm sure that you remember how I broke down the fact that they were in a head-to-head battle, allegedly. And then in the very last game, there was the very same play called, where it was a step out, do your reads, and if you have to go quick, you go to the left read. AOC threw there, Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew threw there, but AOC's was caught and returned 6 for a touchdown. Gardner Minshew, the guy, caught it and fumbled it around a little bit and then dropped it. Or he would have been gone for a pick 6 touchdown. So basically, they both made the exact same play. But because the defensive back dropped the one Gardner threw, he won the starting position. Does that make any sense? And so, see, to me right there, if that was an AOC form of thinking, then I don't like, there's a strike against him right there on his logic process. I didn't understand that. John Leon, I recognize everything you're saying, and I respect your football mind, but I just disagree with you on this one, and I'll explain why. I don't think, for example, remember, I said this the other day, the NFL is a muscle circus. That's it. It's a muscle circus. You can feel differently, but it's a traveling circus that goes state by state, except they don't put up the big tent. The big tent is a big stadium. And then you go into the big stadium, you pay your fees to go see them in the big circular. It's even circled, for Christ's sakes. and then the entertainers come out and you get your show and then you go home. That's it. You know what I mean? We know wrestling's fixed. It's been determined who the winner would be in every match for decades. No one gets mad at that. You know what I mean? How's this different? And the fact that the Raiders might be tanking to get better, the NFL wants the Raiders to be better. Now, they don't want them winning Super Bowls right now because the Chiefs are kind of their marquee right now. So they don't care what the Raiders are doing right now. But now that Patrick Mahomes is starting to slow down a little bit, and the Chiefs are looking like their dynasty might finally be, vulnerable. I don't care what their record is right now, man. We all saw it. There's been like 5 or 6 of these wins of theirs where they look like they absolutely should have lost the game, like the one they were in with us. Does that look like a powerhouse to you or a Super Bowl champion? No. You know what I mean? They're not even impressive when there's opportunities to be elite. They just survive. What's exciting about that? I don't understand why the NFL would want that to be their marquee franchise. Essentially a game-managed team. We insult game manager quarterbacks. How about a game-managed team? Everything is Andy Reid. Everything. Why do you think Patrick Mahomes starts whining like a crybaby every time something goes wrong? Because he's the little boy sent out there to win. Yay! And Andy Reid is daddy. Yeah. It's just all fabricated fugazi garbage. I hate the Chiefs. Bill Cox said, Bear, I think you're right about AOC. Maybe the one you called it. Honestly, AOC comes back from a beaten up thumb, is on the road against our absolute number one rival returning Super Bowl champions, and he puts 300 on them and 2 touchdowns. Returning from a broken thumb. Hits our all-pro, all-football elite tight end 10 times out of 14 targets. I'm telling you, man, you guys don't want to, nobody wanted to give AOC time. Nobody wanted to believe in AOC because he's not dynamic, he can't run like Lamar Jackson, blah, 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 blah. But what does he do? What does he do? Like Captain America, when there's a fight, he falls right in the middle of it and says, let's go. And it isn't pretty, it isn't always the best, it isn't always exciting, but he gets it done. And this is just the baby that's been through living hell with our franchise. And he's still developing. He's still getting better and developing in this farce. I said it, I'm sorry. I don't have to prove my love for the Raiders. You know what's up. Okay? But at the same time, the franchise right now, the way the owner's acting, the turmoil around him, dating a 20-year-old, just the nonsense. Yeah. Raider Rhino, honestly, I think sooner than later, because Mama Bear was actually even bringing it up to me the other day. Yeah. Raider Goon, you're welcome, brother. I meant every word. Michael Ross, why run another play only to throw the ball away so many things could go wrong, like a penalty? Really, AP? Michael Ross, not only that, on 4th and 1, when they went for it on 4th and 1, what did they call? They called the only offensive play that the Chiefs are known to be strong against. Playing the defensive middle half of the defensive line, the A gap and the B gap. But if you snap the ball and you give it to the running back and he skips the gap, goes away from the A or the B gap and takes the edge or takes it wide and tries to beat them to the outside, we were killing them all night. On edge and outside runs, we were gashing them all night. We were hitting them in the middle stuff too because it wasn't 4th and 1. But you get them all geared up to make a play on 4th and 1 up the middle. That's what the Chiefs do. They're great up the middle defensively. Everywhere else, their linebackers, their defensive ends, their defensive backs, their safeties, they're shaky. And we call them a run up the middle through the A or B gap. I'm just saying, that defies logic. If you know what your team does well and what their team does well, and all day you've been running plays that have been hitting the edge or taking the edge and then taking it wide, and you're killing them all day, and then you go, you know what, let's just run it right up the middle. Come on, John, they're tanking. Joseph Marin, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Let me read this. I love that shirt, Iron Maiden rules. I think AP is going to be asked about his vision going forward, draft picks, and if the brass don't like his response, he is gone. Joseph, he could read the King James version of the Bible. And Tom Brady will say, "You're out of here!" Boop, 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 boop. Hello, Mike Vrabel. Hey, bro, how's it going? Long time no talk. You want to be the coach or not? It's going to be Mike Vrabel. I mean, like, for example, let me be honest. If it's not Mike Vrabel, something went wrong. Something went wrong. Because obviously Richard Seymour is going to be on board with Mike Vrabel. Obviously, Tommy Boy's, Mike Vrabel's probably his number one guy. And then I was already saying the black quarterback that was with him when he was in with the Buccaneers, that was the offensive coordinator there, you could see him maybe come in and be the head coach. Because you love a guy that was an offensive coordinator working for you if you used to work for him. See, because now Tom Brady knows how he thinks and can make him the head coach, and they run the exact same offense that Tommy Boy grew up in, and who better to run it with than the guy you just ran it with to win a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers? So I could see him making a lot of sense too. Byron Leftwich. I think Byron Leftwich would be a great head coach. The whole time he was with the Bucs, you never heard anything but respect from the players about him. They all thought he was fantastic. They thought he should have been the head coach moving forward. He wasn't, but, they felt like he should have been. Mr. R8RBEAR, if the Eagles get past the Lions in the playoffs and if they meet the dirty Chiefs in the Super Bowl, the Eagles will put foots in them and Saquon Barkley will run all over them. I don't know with that quarterback of the Eagles. I like Jalen Hurts. I do. I like Jalen Hurts. But he feels like one of those quarterbacks that his rookie season was fantastic. Then he dropped off a little bit, and now we're seeing him sort of, coming back to elite status. I'm not sure if he ends up one-on-one against Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. If they really lean on Saquon Barkley, I would say yes. But, sometimes the Eagles try to overthink it. I don't like coaches that want to win the way they think they should win as opposed to how the team plays. You know what I mean? Like that idiot Shanahan that I've been calling an idiot for 5 years. Probably more like 8 years. And the moment he went to the Niners, I said, it'll never happen. And every year they got there, I said, nope. Betting on the Chiefs. I didn't really. I wouldn't have been able to live with myself if I made money on the Chiefs. All right, let's see. Are we not going to talk about the 3 missed field goals? Jason Polk, I like our kicker. I'm sorry. I'm hanging in there with the guy. All right, I'm sorry. I said I was going to go in on the quarterbacks, so let me get over here on the quarterbacks. Okay, so you know how I feel about some of these guys. But let me just throw it down right now. Prospect ranking quarterbacks that was done by NFL Draft Buzz has Shedeur Sanders number 1 at 91.3% of those who voted for him through NFL Draft Buzz. Now, it's NFLDraftBuzz.com. You guys should go check it out. Now, they give breakdowns of each of the quarterbacks. They tell you a little bit about them personally, but I want to show you where they have them ranked, okay? Now, Shedeur Sanders, number 1. Most of you would never say that. I know most of you have seen flaws in Shedeur Sanders' game that you don't like. Now, I would argue with all of you that you have to remember it's not just about what you see him do on the field. It's not. It used to be about that because college was looked more and more like a farm system for the NFL. Well, now more than ever before, you have colleges mimicking NFL franchises. That's why you see the plays look similar. A lot of the way they run plays look similar. You notice you don't see as many college schools with a quarterback out there just going, clapping for the ball. Now they're actually running plays, learning long cadences, working with long playbooks. And some of them have coaches calling the plays. They still have sleeves and so on and so forth. But they're building systems that are meant to produce quarterbacks that produce in the NFL now. And stop sending up guys like they did with Tim Tebow and Vince Young and Robert Griffin III. All these, incredibly hyped quarterbacks that come out of college and have legendary college seasons. Legendary. Do amazing things on the field that Shedeur Sanders has never done. And yet they were busts at the NFL level. Didn't work out at all. So we can't look at Shedeur Sanders and say to ourselves, well, because my eyes say I've watched how he runs plays or I've watched how he performs, my knowledge of football says he can't make it. You can't do that. And the reason I say that is because, here's why. You cannot do that. Because the way the system is built now, they just want the guys in the college ranks to build their body and learn about offensive football, learn how to go to the chalkboard, learn what it means to pick the mic, go through cadences, and not get panicked as that play clock is running down, and know what's going on, be in command on the field. Well, those are traits they're looking for that don't have stats. You see what I'm saying? It's not a quarterback percentage. It's not how many touchdowns. It's not how many yards you throw for. For example, if you took Shedeur Sanders and his dad's not his coach, and he ends up at Georgia, maybe he has a great season or maybe he doesn't. You know what I mean? It's all about what you have around you, and he had a lot around him in Colorado, and they brought in some players, and so. Okay, number 2, Cam Ward. Now, they have Cam Ward number 2. I honestly think Cam Ward should probably be number 1. But the only thing about Cam Ward that worries me is that he had a, massive rise. It wasn't a sort of little one. It was a massive rise. And I don't know if that had something to do with where he went to school. So I go in, I do a little research, and I find out that he actually traveled to a couple different schools before he actually ended up with Miami. And every school he went to, he made better. And they won. They weren't just good. They were winners. And so I kind of like that. Cam Ward to me gives off LeBron James vibes. He feels like he's just going to show up and say, "Everyone, get on my shoulders, let's go." And he has the build. He has that Russell Wilson perfect prototype build. Muscular, but not too muscular. Tall, but not too tall that he's not fast or is injury prone. Because us taller, slimmer guys like myself, the knees, the ankles, the elbows, sometimes shoulders, you can have problems. These bigger guys, a little bit more dense, not so much. Okay, number 3, Jalen Milroe. I don't really have a lot to say about Jalen Milroe other than that if we were to pick him, I think he would have success with us. I like Jalen Milroe. I didn't get too much into his stats only because I thought that they weren't exactly the most exciting here, but because they have him ranked 3rd or 4th here, but let me just read this to you. Milroe's breakout performance came against LSU, where he set an Alabama record with 4 rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. He followed that with a 6-touchdown outing against Kentucky, becoming the first Alabama quarterback to throw for 3 and rush for 3 scores in a single game. Even for college football, and after I said you don't rank by things by what they do physically at the football level, that one you kind of have to look at, because that's Iron Man football. Just very impressive stuff. I think that they could do worse than to go with Jalen Milroe. Okay, then after that, number 4, you notice the names very different. Garrett Nussmeier, okay? Then 5th, Quinn Ewers, who I happen to have a lot of love for. I think Quinn Ewers is going to be a winner. A winner. And I know these stats don't say it. Some, they're saying he's 5th ranked. Some other people had Quinn Ewers like 7th, which to me is just outrageous. I would have thought he was top 4. Maybe say he's number 5 is not maybe as insulting as I originally thought now that I think about it, because I think he's better than Garrett Nussmeier. I think he should have been 4th, but I can't put him before Jalen Milroe, Cam Ward, or Shedeur Sanders. But I would reverse that I would say number 1 would be Cam Ward, number 2 would be Jalen Milroe, number 3 would be Shedeur Sanders, and then number 4 would be Quinn Ewers, and then 5th, ranked 4th on this poll, but 5th, I would transpose Ewers with Garrett Nussmeier. After that, the shocker is Carson Beck at Georgia falling all the way to 6th. They had him ranked number 1 for a while there. Now, not very long, you know what I mean, because people started watching more and more tape. You started hearing more and more coaches talking about the game, and more of them started to kind of grade Carson Beck. For some of the similar reasons, I was downgrading Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward to a little extent, because when you have so many top players at the school you're at, you know what I mean? And then you have your school scheduling lower, ranked teams against your very high ranked team. It's just sometimes it's a little bit unfair to me. Okay, so just rounding it out, last but not least, Carson Beck was 6th. Drew Allar was 7th. I thought that was surprising, the quarterback for Penn State. I think he would have been better than that. I probably would have put Quinn Ewers at 4. I would have put Drew Allar at 5 and moved Garrett Nussmeier down to 6, Carson Beck to 7. Then at 8, Dylan Gabriel. I think he's positioned at the very, very place he should be at. I think Dylan Gabriel can be a starter and a winner, but he's got to get a little bit more football under his waist. Curtis Rourke is a project, ranked at number 9, the quarterback out of Indiana. I don't like projects, especially when you're talking about first-round picks. I wouldn't look there. And then last but not least, Cade Klubnik of Clemson. And let me just read this real quick. I think this will surprise you. This is the 10th quarterback overall by their listings. Listen to what it says right here. At Clemson, Klubnik has continued to make his mark. In his freshman year, 2022, he completed 61 of 100 passes for 697 yards, listen to these numbers, and 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and earned ACC Championship Game MVP honors. Now, as a full-time starter the following year, his 697 yards went to 2,844, like that. Okay? 2 touchdowns turned into 19. Okay? I mean, come on now. Just an impressive kid. He also added 182 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns rushing on the ground. In 2024, following year, in 5 games, Klubnik has showing significant improvements, completing 19 of 135 passes. He's up to 73% completions for 1,239 yards on the season already and 13 touchdowns. I mean, that's the 10th ranked guy. So I'm kind of excited. I know they're saying that this is kind of a light quarterback year, but I kind of disagree. I think if Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, or Jalen Milroe, and obviously those are the top 3. Right now we're ranked in the draft to draft second. If we go second, then we get any one of those guys. If we go third, we still, for example, let's say someone picks Shedeur Sanders. There's no way the number 2 pick is going to pick Ward or Milroe. They're going to have other needs. I don't know if you've looked at the top of the draft, but it's not teams that need quarterbacks. So they're going to pick a great player, but it's probably going to be defensive because there's a lot of stunning defensive players in this draft. So Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Jalen Milroe may all be on the board when our pick comes in. How's that for exciting? So I don't know. Stay tuned for that. It should be interesting. And I always do a draft show, so look for that too. I always do a draft show, so we'll be talking about it. I think Antonio is upset because the brass want a quarterback. Well, yeah, and I think that they're also upset that they didn't get it done last year. And I think they may be leaving that on Coach because overall, Coach is supposed to be in charge of the war room. So if he didn't get it done, he didn't get it done. I don't care if he's in his first year. You wanted the job, here it is. Now do it. I love AP, do the job. If you can't, get out. Edgar Lucky De Leon says, Raider Bear, the clock was not stopped, so it was not a false start. They just got lucky again. I don't disagree, Edgar Lucky De Leon. I was just trying to frame the conversation so I'm seeing both sides for everyone. That's all. I honestly don't think there was some kind of conspiracy there or any of that stuff. It's nonsense. We just made a mistake. I thought it was a little weird, but we just made a mistake. But if it wasn't a mistake, it was tanking. And I just felt like that was a lot of mistakes happening on that play. That's the most crucial play coming up, and that's where you committed that error. It bothered me. I'm now convinced that we should go after Cam Ward, who is who we need to go all out for, followed by Hunter and then Shedeur if he falls to us. Yeah, I could feel that. Raging Raider Rhino, it's okay if you want to see the Lions win a ring. There's nothing wrong with that. I always try to pick someone that I / root for if my team isn't in it. In every sport, you know what I mean? Especially baseball. If it's the Los Angeles Angels, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the San Francisco Giants, or my Oakland A's, now Vegas A's, whichever one, I'll root for them when it gets time. I want a Cali team to win. Jamarcus Russell was a number 1. Why would this entire coaching staff, including the game GM, risk their career by tanking for one player? Sanders ain't it. John, without sounding like I disagree with you, I'm just going to say that's what the game is now. You know, you take the best guy available. They would have taken Jaden Daniels. Had he not turned out to be the right guy, it wouldn't have mattered. That's who they wanted. We just missed. You know, and the fact that we missed, you know, that's a check mark, you know, and now there's been others. Some of these play calls and some of these losses, some of these decisions, some of these losses, some of the clock management. You know, he's getting graded, and so far, from what I understand, the grades aren't great. Probably the only team that can beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Yeah, I felt like once again we looked really strong against them. If this regime is tanking, why didn't they give the house for Jaden Daniels, which is better, the Sanders, and played with AP? Well, Troy, I think they tried to. I just think we didn't offer. Our house wasn't enough, to get us up there. Blah, blah, blah. Troy Gill, I don't think we're going to win the rest of our games. I just don't think that's going to happen. And not because we couldn't, just because I really don't think. I know you're tired of hearing about tanking and all that, but I'll be honest with you, I don't like it either. You know what I mean? If your team is doing it, or even if you just think they're doing it, it sucks. Because how do you talk about things like, what are we going to do at the trade deadline? And are we going to be able to pull out these last 5 games? And you know what I mean? It's hard to even discuss if you really believe they're tanking. Everyone's focused on Sanders and Ward, but Jackson Dart from Ole Miss is that dude. I love the kid's game. Well, but see, what Marcus Atchison, you know why everybody's focused on him. It's the politics of football. That's what it's become now. You have scouts out there that decide, hey, this is the guy you should go with, not the guy that makes common sense, not the guy you see slinging touchdowns. Take this other guy over here. He's a shinier little, ornament. That's all. You know what I mean? It goes down like that every year. There's guys like that. Let's see. If AOC would have started a lot more wins than we got with Minshew, in a way, I'm grateful it went the way I did. Looking forward to next year's draft. Well, yeah. Not only that, I wouldn't have liked seeing them, saying to AOC, okay, draw it back. We're going to try and do this because we're not able to get off to a good start. So we got to make sure we secure our draft pick. You know what I mean? I hate that fans get mad when I talk about that. I don't mean to do that to you guys. I really don't. I just think it's a reality of football now. It's not the same era of football. It changed on us really quietly, but now I don't think the NFL really frowns on tanking the way they say they do. I don't. You know what I mean? Think about CTE and brain trauma and all that stuff. They acted like they cared about it and they were responsible for it for like a year or two, and now you never hear anything said about it anymore, ever. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that they should, that we want to talk about that as fans, but I do think that they should continue to do things that work along those lines, and they're not. All we see is blue tents and an extra doctor, and yet still, you see guys get blasted, they're hurt, their eyes are glossed, they're spinning and like this, and then they go into the blue tent for 2 plays, come out and go right back on the field. And that's against the rules. You're not even supposed to be able to do that. It's written in the books, but there they are breaking the rules because they wanted to get their guy back out there. I think it was Baker Mayfield. It was like week 2 or 3, and he was just like, no, I'm going back out there. Bear, how can AP be so bad with all those ex-coaches brought in to help him? Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. I don't think this is a 2-win team. That's why when some of my viewers say, no, we're not tanking, I can see it's this, or it's not tanking because of this. I'd rather you were right. But at the same time, if you're right, it means we're really bad. And I can't believe we're that bad. I just don't believe we're that bad. Not like this. Not 2 wins. I just don't believe we're 2 wins bad. You know what I mean? I don't. For example, one game we look like world beaters and we're playing the Chiefs and we're giving them all they want, and then the next week we can't do anything and we look like garbage. I mean, come on. And to be honest with you, if it's truly the team is trying, like really, really trying to win these games, then I'm bothered at why they could get up for the Chiefs, but not, some of the games we've had at home. You know what I mean? Get up for those games. I want to see those as wins. I want to see us win in Vegas. You couldn't get up for that game, but you got up for the Chiefs on the road. Come on. As long as we're talking about pain, Josh Jacobs is having the second best season of his entire career right now for Green Bay. Damn front office. My brother's a huge Chiefs fan, and he tried to give me BS after the game, and I told him, listen, your boy Mahomes needed to get the win for his 100th win as a starting quarterback. The Raiders needed the loss for the number 1 pick for a quarterback in the 2025 draft. Period. Now get out of my house. That's how you end it next time, Corinna. Bill, I appreciate you saying that, but you remember as well as I do, I picked AOC before the Raiders did. You remember that. I know Corinna Trujillo and Anna Diaz Rincon, my first supporter ever. I see you, Anna. They remember. I said, man, I'm telling you, AOC is going to be a winner. He's going to be a winner. He's going to take a franchise and he's going to win. And everyone thought I was crazy. And Bear, he's a backup at best. That man is a winner. I'm telling you, I like AOC. And, honestly, I have a really, sadomasochistic wish that that he actually ends up not with the Raiders anymore. That we, get our quarterback of the future. Sanders, Ward, whoever, Quinn Ewers, whoever you like. We'll get that quarterback, and then we'll let AOC go. Or let him be the backup for one more year, and then trade him somewhere. And let him go to the Eagles or something like that, and watch what happens. Watch what happens. He'll get there, and the starting quarterback, whoever it is, might get hurt. He's going to get an opportunity. He's going to play real well. And then all of a sudden, you're going to have questions. Whoa. I mean, forget it if he ends up with Miami. The Dolphins, with Tua this close to being out of the league. I told you guys that sooner or later, the league was going to start whispering, maybe we need to get Tua out of the league because blah, blah, blah. What happened this year? As soon as he got hit, I don't know, maybe Tua should retire. And he wasn't even the one talking about it, not even the Dolphins. It was it was the NFL and the internet and retired players that are trusted people to talk about the NFL, like Tony Romo, who just starts flipping off at the mouth about how another guy should retire, which is super disrespectful for one player to do to another while he's active and you're a bum. I hate Tony Romo. I cannot. It's hard for me to even watch the game when he calls it. And when he calls a Raider game, I just mute it. I don't listen. I really don't. I watch every play, but I don't listen to him. Doc Raider, what a great comment. Greetings, Raider Bear. I made a lot of one predictions this season, and I'll be the first one to admit it. But a lot of wrong predictions. But in my opinion, to keep Crosby off the field for a couple of games would require a squad of armed Marines. I don't know if it would if you pulled him aside and you really explained to him. We just don't want you getting hurt. You know what I mean? The guy's a Hall of Famer. He just is, and you got to treat players like that to me differently. You do. You know what I mean? It's not meant to be a disrespect to any other player on the team. It's just facts. He is the best player, not just on our team, on most teams. Guys like that you protect, to me. I'm protecting that guy. Yeah, Raging Raider Rhino, their tackles are garbage. They've had troubles getting tackle right for a few years now. And yet, even with the problems at tackle, Andy Reid has been able to find ways to shift people right and left to make blocking schemes that will block for one side rolling right. So now if you beat them on the left side, doesn't matter. You roll the protection right, you roll the quarterback right, you run plays, and then you throw darts. And that's all they do is they run different types of slow developing crossing routes and draw plays and stuff like that. And when I say that's all they do, I mean, I shouldn't be that disrespectful because obviously they're good. They've won a lot of games. But I think a lot of it is smoke and mirrors and they're just getting away with things. That's why every game they've been in this year, they don't dominate. Yeah, Corinna, it's Dallas has been a farce for a long time. They never should have been called America's team. That was ridiculous. Miguel Garcia, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. 559 Fresno in the house. What's up, buddy? House Junkies, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Appreciate the salute. Right back at you. Craig Gilmore, I see you there. What's up, Craig? He said AOC gets nothing done. Well, I mean, 300 plus yards, 2 touchdowns. 10 passes to our all-pro tight end, that's nothing. I thought that was pretty good. Had us driving down the field late. 2-point game, probably going to win. Fumble doesn't happen, we win. We found our 2 running backs. Get rid of the other 2. I don't know who you're talking about. I know you're talking about McCormick, for one, because McCormick was incredible. As far as Zamir White, even if he played well, I'm just not sure about him. Richard Nunez, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Our time's coming. Do you think Ward, a Kittle, better quarterback than Sanders? Do I think Ward's a little better than quarterbacks? It says Kittle, but yeah, I get what you meant. Honestly, I do. I do. I think Ward is a little better. Now, when it comes to play analyzing, actually looking at a defense, what they're trying to do, and then making a decision, I actually think Shedeur Sanders is a little better at that. I won't lie. I'm going with Cam because I think Cam brings athletic gifts to the field, and then learning those parts of the game can come to him. And I think he will be a better overall starter. And I just think his frame, he looks a little bit sturdier than Shedeur Sanders. And you have to figure that in. You know, a guy's build does have a lot to do with football. You know what I mean? He's not built like Cam Newton. You know what I mean? He's not, you know, a shrimp. He's not a lightweight. He's not skinny or anything like that, but he's borderline. You know what I mean? If you wanted him at 200 pounds, let's say, or you wanted him at 220 pounds, 200 or 220, he's 212, 215. You know what I mean? So it's like he's over what you wanted by, you know, but just this much. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like that. AOC should start from the beginning and Turner should stay. I think AOC is probably going to start the remaining games, and if that happens, I do think we could win a game or two, and I don't know if that's a good idea. And I don't like saying that. I apologize to those of you who are totally against tanking. I just think it's a part of the NFL now, and I don't even think the NFL is being serious. Because ask yourself this question. When is the last time that you heard of a team tanking that was then penalized for it? I'll wait. No, I won't, because we'll be here all night. See, the truth is, I don't think they've ever penalized anyone for that. I haven't had a chance to really research it yet, but even if they have, it's probably only been once, maybe twice, because I don't remember it. So it would have had to have been a pretty obscure thing. Oh, we got that guy for tanking and that owner for tanking in 1998. You know what I mean? Something like that, 2012. But I can't remember a time where a team was even warned that we think you're tanking. I can't think of a time when the NFL has ever penalized a team and said it's for tanking. You know what I mean? So, you know, they say they have all these rules for it. They say they have all these penalties for it. And then it's never used? Why would they create a rule for it? Why would they warn people not to do it unless teams are, in fact, doing it? See? So, I'm not saying everyone's wrong when they say they're not tanking. I'm just saying tanking happens, and it looks like we are. Otherwise, we're really bad. What would you rather go with? We're tanking, or we just really are bad? You know what I mean? Because I just don't think we're only 2 wins bad. Even with the quarterback situation the way it is, I don't think we're only 2 wins bad. Well, I did in the beginning with that offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, that we fired. That was a 2-win offense. You know what I'm saying? But once we got him out of there, we brought in the Turners. You know, I've always liked the Turners. I've always respected Norv Turner. Everywhere he goes, he wins. That's just a fact. If you look back at his record, everywhere he goes, teams get better. And when he leaves, they usually start to struggle. And you hear quarterbacks talk about they swear by him, that he's a guru, that teams with quarterbacks that work with him, they get better. They just do. Yeah, Tanamoku, a lot of run up the middles. I wasn't happy. It just doesn't see, you don't see enough diversity. Zamir White will be cut by the Raiders. He's not the franchise running back. He needs a true number 1 quarterback, wide receiver, yeah. Marcus Atchison agrees with me. He says Vrabel is head coach and Leftwich is OC. I like that. I like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I kind of implied that. But yeah, I do. I like that. I think that would work. I think it would work immediately. I don't think the Chiefs will make it to the Super Bowl this year. They could barely beat us and didn't beat us, really. Yeah, and they won a couple other games this year, at least 3 or 4, that were really close, Jim. And they just looked really vulnerable and kind of got away with one like they did with us. Good evening, Raider Bear. Do you think that John Gruden will come back next year to coach the Raiders? Joey Rivera, if he did, it would be embarrassing. That would be embarrassing to the franchise. I mean, if Mark Davis wants to make us look dumber, then it'll happen. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, Joey, John Gruden's time to me has come and passed. You know what I mean? When he was with us, we have to remember, he wasn't doing really that well. His win-loss record was effectively the same. You know what I mean? Win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. You know what I mean? You know, you had a lot of chaos going on. The way he handled the Antonio Brown wide receiver situation, the guy we brought in from the Pittsburgh Steelers, was, embarrassing. The fact that he didn't support his offensive coordinator, not offensive coordinator, excuse me, his general manager, showed no respect to, and basically when his wide receiver went crazy on his general manager, he acted like it was nothing. You know what I mean? And so you can't do stuff like that, and yet he did. He wants everyone to act like he was done wrong, and yet you sent emails that said horrible things on them. I mean, whether they should have read them or whether it should count because you weren't in the NFL at the time or any of that nonsense doesn't make us unread the letters and the things you said that were absolutely horrible. Alexa, resume. Yeah, Bill Cox, I love yours. I think he's awesome. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran, much love. Appreciate you all tuning in. Please check me out tomorrow night, and I'll see you soon. Please like and subscribe. Hit that like button on YouTube, and I will see you soon. Raider Bear family page. Peace! That one didn't go very well. Let me do it again. Yeah.